You describe a common video scenario on popular platforms where the authors promise success and motivate viewers to quit their mundane jobs in pursuit of their dreams. However, at the end of the video, they offer to buy their course for a nominal fee, promising to reveal key secrets to achieving goals. Your impressions of such videos are mixed because despite clear ideas, you feel some important component is missing. In your reflective speech, you emphasize that these promises of success often mask only verbosity and ultimately wasted time. You suggest an alternative approach, focusing on streamlining processes in everyday life, like ordering prepared food to save time. However, you argue that the idea of just dropping everything and following your dreams, without a plan or strategy, is flawed. You share your own experience of changing careers multiple times, emphasizing the importance of finding a plan and strategy and understanding yourself in order to achieve life goals. Ultimately, you express your belief that realizing dreams requires a meaningful approach rather than simply dropping everything for the sake of idealized success. After I worked my first unassuming jobs, I had confidence, and for the first time in my life, I truly began to know myself and my goals in life. I began to think about my limits to date and how much I could push those limits in the future. I also came to realize how much it sucks to work as a construction worker and that I needed to get better at anything to move further. And this way is the most effective way, because going to work doesn't mean you have to necessarily give up on your dreams. It is not slavery. Therefore, it is best to go to work and in parallel, lay bullets to your dream. And this approach has many pluses. You gain important social skills, develop versatility, gain new experience for yourself. Develop discipline and gain an understanding of how this or that sphere of activity works. From the inside, you leave your comfort zone. And although it is not very pleasant, but then every day you come to realize that it turns out you are not such a useless mama's boy as you thought. In any case, there should always be a reasonable approach. This means that you must properly assess your strengths and capabilities. You must develop discipline, because the most powerful tool to achieve any of your goals in life is not motivation and not some talent, but discipline. After all, for motivation is not the source of energy. Your emotions. And although it is a rather powerful kind of fuel, it is not enough for a long time. And after the explosive fish follows a stop, talent is generally something ephemeral, some of your types, innate abilities. Discipline, on the other hand, works on a fuel called habits on. You will not go very fast, but you can go almost anywhere, and the stories about such people are inspiring. They are always in the ear, but we miss hundreds of thousands of fates who just fell for the clickbait. That you should throw everything and chase the dream, and as a result, lost years of life and did not get anything in return. And in this video, I want to bring thoughts to the majority of people who feel stuck and don't know where to go from here. After all, on the one hand, you're told that your dream sucks and it will definitely not feed you, and on the other hand, you're told that don't be a loser, don't work at those dull jobs, we'll teach you everything. But only by getting out of your comfort zone and into a stressful environment can you truly realize your strengths and see your weaknesses that you so carefully hide and reject. While you are in your cozy, safe world, comfort is anti-natural for humans. After all, how long have we lived in comfort? 200, 400 years. That's not a long time for our genetic code. And even with our brains, we're already living in the modern world. With all the gadgets, the cars, the stores, where everything is available. The laws by which all the processes in our body take place have not gone that far from the caveman. And just comfort inhibits all those processes that make us move and get better, day by day, for the sake of survival and achieving our goals, while society sucks the energy out of us by turning consumption into the meaning of life. And behind all these success stories, where a person became a famous actor or businessman from scratch, there are often always parents from the movie industry or just rich people who were able to create the very conditions in which a person could not. 2. Think about how he can pay for his school fees, rent, and buy a car. Again, there is an exception, but is not a combination of titanic work and plus luck, where a person was in the right place at the right time, and to make a calculation on this is very foolish. And if now you are thinking about some first non-prestigious job and you have fear, it is a sign that you have been in your comfort zone for too long, and that's actually the case for most people. After all, although at first glance the life of a teenager is not so easy, but it is only at first glance, because lectures, seminars, school is all, although not easy, but the whole process is quite transparent. You are not required to take special initiative, take risks, include imagination, and look for different ways to achieve your goals. Pooh is there, and it is very clear. From this was born the theory that triplets in the end achieve more than excellent students because they use their time and efforts more rationally, thereby adding a minimum of satisfactory, the result, which is often achieved by finding alternative ways, achieving goals in studies, which require the least mental and labor input. Doesn't this model depict the meaning of the term discipline, or do they just fall into it? Well, let's skip all these theories and get back to our topic, the very fear that has built up inside of you from being in your comfort zone for so long and is pushing you around. On the search for information about all these delusions that you don't have to torture yourself in dull jobs, just throw everything and VPert to meet his dream. And you think, well, the dude from the internet has succeeded, and how am I worse because on the internet follow not stupid people, and they have achieved something in this life, and now want to inspire you correctly. Well, don't forget to buy the Successful Success course also at a discount. Fuck, that even sounds stupid. A discounted success course. Imagine you have everything you could ever want. You know, like a huge house with a pool, you have a personal chef, a garage, there's over 10 very expensive cars, and if you wanted to, you could ask your parents and they'd buy you a new model. You have a tennis court there, a sauna, the house is cleaned by a skid steer, and much more. If you had all that in your life at 16, you would be living happy. I'm sure I would. But do you think under those circumstances you would have progressed, set great goals, learned, developed leadership skills? I'm sure I wouldn't. You don't know what you want from life and what you are capable of. A. This self-knowledge is not through meditation and attending lectures of different hypotheigens, but through solving complex problems, not to the main components. And the very catalyst is stress. B. Our time. It is accepted to think that stress is something negative, but in fact, it is a mechanism by which a person can mobilize his physical and mental resources to survive in a difficult environment. But in fact, it is a preset program, which with the help of impulses, your brain, and activation of some chemical processes in your body makes you act and overcome difficult life situations, thus pumping yourself up. And yes, it's not some kind of golden pill for staying stressed all the time. Your motivator will just die, but dose to stress will only benefit you. And the main point I'd like to make is this. You don't have to think that each of us is special and there are only fools around. There is no need to devalue ordinary average income jobs like doctors, firefighters, utility workers, construction workers, lawyers, and teachers. Chances are your relatives or acquaintances worked those jobs every day from 9 to 5. They worked for not a lot of money, but they also brought a lot more to the table. More value to this world than most web developers, YouTubers, traders, and fucking rappers. Thank you, everybody.